For this one, I am going to combine Wednesday and Thursday's video for Writing and Language Arts packet. Once again, make sure you are in your Writing and Language Arts packet. Go ahead and turn to page 16. You are starting off with Journal 4, which says, what superpower would you like to have? How would it be useful right now? Write a story about a teenager who has that superpower and uses it to save the world. Right? Be descriptive, be clever, be witty. Put in a lot of details. I would love to see what you write about and what superpower you would have and how the teenager saves the world. Your lesson for Wednesday is Figures of Speech on page 17. One way that writers make their writing lively and vivid is by using figures of speech. A figure of speech is an imaginative or a non-literal way of using language. It might describe something in an unexpected way, or it might even stretch the truth. So, the first one is personification. Personification is a figure of speech that gives human-like qualities and actions to something that is not human. Writers use personification to create a picture in the mind of the reader or to convey a mood. So the steep trail dared Mia to take another step. So a trail that you're walking on obviously cannot dare you to do something because it does not have the capability of actually saying, I dare you to do something. You cannot talk. Where sneaky tree roots were hiding under leaves and twigs, ready to trip her. The tree roots aren't trying to be sneaky, they're just sneaky to us. Another good example of personification is in Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of NIMH, the book we are reading. The animals in the book all seem to be able to talk, but animals do not talk in real life, so that is one form of personification. Non-living things, such as tree roots, can't dare someone, be sneaky, or hide with the intention of tripping someone. The figures of speech help the reader picture the trail and sense the lurking dangers. Another figure of speech is the hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech that uses exaggeration for emphasis or effect. It took forever to reach the top of the mountain. So it doesn't really take forever to climb a mountain. The figure of speech emphasizes the length and difficulty of the climb and conveys Mia's frustration. So in class, when I'm like, I waited 12 minutes for you to do blah, 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 like sharpen a pencil, I obviously did not wait 12 minutes. I don't think that sentence has ever come out of my mouth before. I couldn't think of anything else. The other day when we were on Zoom, I said that a student had been waiting or had been trying to join for 10 minutes. Well, the Zoom call had only been going on for 2 minutes, so that's false. I was using a hyperbole. I was exaggerating my thoughts. I was waiting for that student to come in, and I was waiting for it to load for only 2 minutes, but it felt like forever. It felt like 10 minutes. Our guided practice for the day: read the passage, underline each figure of speech, and identify it by writing P for personification or H for hyperbole, then discuss the meaning of the figure of speech with a partner. By the time Mia's parents set up the tent, it was raining. Mia would never forgive them for this trip. Her legs were still complaining from the climb, and the mean rain was punishing her family for camping in October. The next morning, though, Mia woke up refreshed. She thought, I must have slept for days. Outside the tent, the sun smiled through the leafy trees. Okay, so let's go back and look for personifications. So, by the time Mia's parents set up the tent, it was raining. That's all normal stuff that happens. Mia would never forgive them for this trip. Never. Okay, we're doing personification. Her legs were still complaining from the climb. So, last time I checked, legs cannot actually complain, so that would be personification. I'm just gonna do this, because you know me, I like to color code So, her legs were still complaining. There's personification. And the mean rain was punishing her family for camping in October. Right? Well, rain cannot be mean, and it cannot punish her. So there's another personification. The next morning, though, Mia woke up refreshed. She thought, I must have slept for days. Outside the tent, the sun smiled through the leafy trees. We all see pictures of suns with faces, but in real life they do not. So the sun smiled. Personification. Now we're going to go back and look for hyperboles. So H is for hyperbole, or in my sense, red. By the time Mia's parents set up the tent, it was raining. Mia would never forgive them for this trip. That's a bit of exaggeration. Do you think she would never forgive her parents ever? Mia would never forgive them. It's a bit of an exaggeration, okay? Her legs were still complaining from the climb, and the mean rain was punishing her family for camping in October. The next morning, though, Mia woke up refreshed. That is something that can happen to anyone. She thought, I must have slept for days. Well, it says the next morning, so she obviously didn't sleep for days. It's an exaggeration. Outside the tent, the sun smiled through the leafy trees. So, there is that personification and hyperbole practice. Now you're going to go down here to multiple choice. For numbers 1 to 4, what does the underlined figure of speech mean in each sentence? So you're going to read the underlined portion. You're going to read the whole thing, but you're going to focus on the underlined portion and figure out what it means. So a bold wind grabbed Mia's cap as she and her parents hiked down the trail. So bold wind grabbed Mia's cap. So does it mean the wind was bold and pushy? Or the wind blew Mia's cap off her head? Or Mia took her cap off her head because of the wind? Or someone took Mia's cap? Well, if I'm reading it and it said a bold wind grabbed Mia's cap, I would say, we know a wind blows, so the wind blew Mia's cap off her head. That is the one that makes no sense to me. So I'm going to go fill in this whole thing B. And we're going to do that for 2, 3, and 4, and then you're going to try it as always. Reread your story, your superhero story. Find places where you could add emphasis by including figures of speech. Add 1 instance of hyperbole and 1 instance of personification. So I should at least see 1 hyperbole and 1 personification in your journal. Please don't hesitate to stop at just 1. And then for Thursday, you are going to do just journal entry 5 on page 19. Today, you woke up and were told you are the president of a new country. You can name the country anything you'd like and make all the laws. What decisions would you make? Write an announcement to the people of your country explaining everything to them. Here's a great time to use your knowledge of the human rights of the citizens of the United States that you did in your social studies packet. So think about those when you're creating your laws. But of course, it is your country and you can make up whatever you would like. So please send me them when you are done. That is it for this week of May 12th for writing and language arts.